All right. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. Looking forward to this one. I think this is his first album. I've meant to check. I forgot to check. I have never heard Jay-Z with the exception of Big Pimpin'. And I have a story for that here. I'll tell you in a second. Before, fighting a bit of a cold. So if I sound nasally, that's why. And if I seem a little tired, that's why. And then two, someone left me a comment the other day saying, I guess the record label is pretty strict with this on YouTube, so it's probably going to get blocked. So expect a edited version. If you're watching this on YouTube and you don't like the edited versions and you want a full uncut version, all of my uncut versions are posted on Patreon. My Patreon's $2 a month. So if you want to see the uncut version, kick in a couple bucks to help me out. Cool, appreciate it. If not, no worries. So Big Pimpin'. Big Pimpin'. I was in the Navy. I did 6 years Navy. And of course, that means you got to go to boot camp. All the services, you start with boot camp. And boot camp for the Navy was 10 weeks. It's out in Illinois, and it was in the winter. And it wasn't extremely difficult. It was just, it sucked. Some things are difficult. Some things are just not fun. The boot camp was not fun. You're tired all the time, and it was fucking cold as shit. And, it was the first time for me away from home, and you lose things like privacy and alone time, and just you lose a lot of freedoms when you're in boot camp. Big thing for me was I couldn't listen to music. 10 weeks of no music. And that was soul crushing for me because I'm always listening to music. So get done with boot camp. They're driving us out to the airport to fly us off to our next command station. And the guy driving the van, it's one of those like larger fancy tour vans. And the guy driving the van, I still remember this. We get in the van and we take off. And he had the radio on or something at first. And then he popped in the CD and just cranks it. And it was Big Pimpin'. And the sound system was pretty good. And Big Pimpin's got that great beat, right? Bow, 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 bow. And I'd never heard the song before. I'd never heard Jay-Z before. And the guy, he's driving down the freeway and he's like putting his hands up and shit. And I'm listening to this and I just remember thinking to myself, I'm so happy right now. And it wasn't because of the song. I mean, really, I wasn't too into the song, but it was just the fact that I was hearing music again. I was leaving boot camp, and like I was kind of getting my life back, which was nice. But because of that, Big Pimpin' has always had a special place in my heart. I think it's a great track. I know, I recall him having to basically apologize for it later on because of the lyrical content and it's misogynist or whatever. I just love the beat. I think it's a great beat. Anyway, there you go. Those are my Big Pimpin' stories. So that's the only track from Jay-Z I'm familiar with. I only recently discovered that It's a Hard Knock Life is also Jay-Z, and I've heard that before too. So there you go. There's my little opening story. That's enough. We'll kick this off. This is the first time listening to Jay-Z. First time listening to Reasonable Doubt. Track 1 is Can't Knock the Hustle. Here we go.
Okay. All right, big man. You want to make some big bucks, huh? Let's see how tough you are. You know something about cocaine? Dígame. You kidding me or what, man? There's a bunch of Colombians coming in Friday. New guys.
Cause you can't knock the hustle.
But do you think you are? Baby, one day you'll be a star.
That scene out of state with.
This is super chill already. Now, I'm remembering, what was it? The track off of Late Registration with Kanye, Diamonds from Leon or something. And he had that line, great line about there. I've sold keys. I think I can sell CDs. I thought that was the greatest line. And so I forget that, he was doing that. Just put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. What is the leathers? I don't know. Oh, heavy coats. Oh, okay. This is another, I'm slowly learning some of the slang and the references, but There's a lot of stuff in here where I'm like, well, I don't really know what the hell he's talking about. But it is a good little opening bit. I'm just surprised at how mellow it is. I don't know why. I kind of expected more. Maybe I have this mindset of big pimping and being bold and loud and kind of up there. Let me back up a bit. We'll keep going.
We do dirt like worms, produce G's like sperm, to legs spread like germs. I got extensive hoes with expensive clothes, and I sip fine wines and spit vintage flows, but y'all know. Yeah, cause you can't knock the hustle. Leaving, as long as I'm breathing, can't knock the way a nigga eating. Fuck you even.
This line here, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we're even. Popular trope in hip-hop that the only way to escape certain neighborhoods is through rap music or a basketball career. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm not saying a whole lot, honestly, because this track, I'm kind of, well, whatever. There's not a whole lot with the beat. Yeah, I think the lyrics are fine too, but I'm not really getting a clearly defined message from the lyrics. Yeah, let's keep going.
Taking out this time.
I like how chill it is. I like Mary J. Blige.
On my mind. What do you think you are?
All right, well, there's track one. I was thinking, I'm not super into this one. Not that it's bad, but it's fine. I was thinking I should have looked more into this album because I recall, I think it was during Jay-Z's Hall of Fame induction. I think he was talking about it where I guess they had to shop this album around and nobody would take it. And so they said, fine, fuck it. We'll just make our own record company. And that's how Rockefeller was formed, I believe. And so I'm keeping that in mind. I'm trying to do both sides where, he's got something that he believes in. And so he's, like, no, this is my music and this is good and we're going to make it. And I'm trying to hear that while also trying to hear, what was it that these other record companies missed? Why did they not pick this up? And I'm wondering if they've felt the same way I feel right now. I mean, this is just one track, but it's like, well, okay, that's fine. So let's move on. Let's see what track 2 is. Politics as usual. Let's see how this one sounds.
You know how we do. Rockefeller. Forever. Catch me skating through your town, putting it down.
There we go.
No waiting, I'll make your block infrared hot. I'm like Satan. Y'all feel a nigga struggle. Y'all think a nigga luddle. Politics as usual.
Okay, this one, I like this one more. A little bit more going on with the sound. I like this final line. Just think winter's here and I'm trying to feel mink. I like that. Okay, this is more my jam. A little bit more going on with the music. This is a little bit more of what I expected from Jay-Z, even though I should have no expectations since I've heard so little of his music. But just a little bit more, I want to say flamboyant. That's not the correct term. Just more lively. A little bit more bold and not proud. God, my vocabulary is all jacked up. My brain's all jacked up because I'm tired. Just, yeah, not reserved. That first track felt pretty reserved.
District, bless me with some BS, somethings I could live with. Stop fronting, and for the dough I raise, gotta get shit appraised. Politics as usual.
He has an interesting flow. It almost seems slower, but it's not really slower. He's just got an interesting vocal rhythm, and it's well pronounced, which is nice. You can hear what he's saying, and it's been interesting. Last week I listened to Tupac for the first time. The week before that was Illmatic, and so I'm just hearing all these different artists and how they have their vocal styles. And I've always liked Jay-Z's voice. I think he has a distinct voice. But I've never really listened to his flow. And so I'm really, on this track, I'm listening to that right now.
Feel my triumph, never. Feel my pain, I'm lying.
And that little flourish right there is cool. I like that. All right, well, that was track 2. I enjoyed that one. I had a thought slip through my mind. I didn't catch it, but it was more about his vocals. Let's keep going. Let's go to track 3. I'm really hearing Jay-Z for the first time, so I'm trying to settle in. Track 3 is called Brooklyn's Finest. Oh shit. This is fucking cool. This one's tough because I don't want to pause it because they've got a great rhythm going. You know, it just keeps going. Nice flow going on this one. I want to know. This is the second time the name Willie's come up. I don't know who Willie. Oh, Willie is slang for dope. Okay. All right. Every now and then there was a line here too. Where was it? Up further. This whole pillowcase to your face must make the shell muffle. You know, shot your daughter in the calf. I'm trying to see if I can spot links between some of the stuff being said by maybe Jay-Z and Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac in reference to Tupac. I don't know if Jay-Z had any beef with Tupac. I know Biggie did, but anyway, I'm just seeing if I can catch any links. I have no idea if they exist in this album or not, but there you go.
Jay-Z, big smalls, nigga, shit your drawers. Brooklyn, represent y'all. Hit your fours, you crazy.
They hit 6 shots just in case.
Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls, nigga.
This is what I expected from Jay-Z. This is a little bit more bold, confident, you know? It's great having Biggie in here, too, with their vocals overlaying on top of each other. Pretty good pretty good lyrics, too. I mean, there's not... I'm finding myself... I can't even really materialize the thought. I have a divergence that exists in my mind because so much with lyrics, I want a story to be told, and they're saying stuff, but it's kind of, there's nothing super specific, and so I can't necessarily follow exactly what they're getting at. What the lyrics are is they're well written. I like the rhythm and the pace and everything that's going on with it. But for some reason I'm not quite clicking with it. I mean, they've got great lines. I'm from RC, I'm varsity chump, you're JV. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, these are all good lines, but it's almost like they're just laying out zingers on this album or on this track. Just, you know, here's a good line, here's a good line, here's a good line. And that's all well and good and stuff, but after a while, to me, I kind of need a little bit more substance. So I think really that's what's going on. I can appreciate, okay, yeah, those couple lines are pretty good, and yeah, that's a good line, and this is a good line, but I'm wanting a little bit more. It's like here's an analogy. This will make sense, hopefully. If you give me a bunch of zingers, that's fine and all, but it's kind of like having a bunch of appetizers for dinner instead of having a meal. You know, I like the meal too. Appetizers are fine, some zingers are fine, but give me a story as well. So, not that this song is bad. I'm enjoying this song, but that's where I'm at right now with the lyrics. Let me back this up a little bit.
Usually quattro cinco, the shell sink slow, tossing ya. Mad slugs through your nautical. I'm warning ya.
Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls, nigga, shit.
I want to go back and read the annotation here and see if this is something. He may be dissing himself or Faith here. He's just having some fun. It's most likely Biggie was being sarcastic here, making a joke. Rumors that Faith had sex with Tupac. Huh. Interesting. This, where was it? I liked this verse from Jay-Z. For the 9-6, the only MC with the flu. Yeah, I rhyme sick. I be what you're trying to do. That's pretty good. And then make it a fortune off for Peru extraditing China white heron. And then I like short sleeves. I bare arms. These are good lines. They're good lines. Good beat. Good rhythm. Yeah, interesting.
Where you from? Brooklyn, going out to all. Flatbush. You don't stop.
I like the beat. I like that lighter tone in the background. That's kind of bouncing around. It's not quite a piano, but it's a cool sound. So with that one, I was listening here, all these different areas that he's calling out to, and I was thinking back to Illmatic, and he's referencing all these different locations, which is kind of cool. I'm understanding shout outs a little bit more. And so this seems to be a little bit more of an inclusive type thing. But when I started thinking about Illmatic, I started thinking about the point of view that Nas had on that one versus the point of view on this one. And this one seems to be more of somebody who's in the game and enjoying the game, whereas Nas was almost like a commentary about all the stuff that was going on. So that's kind of interesting. This is a different perspective. And you know what? The next track is Dead Presidents. So seems to be a reference to Nas and what was it? I want dead presidents to represent me. So here, we'll go on the track for Dead Presidents 2.
Presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents.
Hey, all right. I actually knew the reference before it even started.
I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Without rap, I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from 88.
Presidents to represent me.
So, God, sometimes I say things and then it just seems to line up. It's fun. This is a different tone. This is a little bit more, I want to say boots on the ground, in the shit type of tone with this track. I'm talking about, he's in the hospital with his buddy and he got his side sprayed up. I saw his life slipping. This is a minor setback. Still, in all we live in, just dream about the get back. That made him smile. That was his eyes said, pray for me. I'll do you one better. I'll slay them. Murder's a tough. So this is interesting. So this is kind of a nice change because in the first couple tracks, Jay-Z had this appeal to what was going on, kind of enjoying the game. Rather now on this one, a little bit more serious. And I dabbled in Crazy Way without rap. I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from 88. Large amount of drugs. So it's got to be something. I don't know. Let's keep going.
I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Why you ride the bench? Catch me swinging for the fence. Dead presidents,
Dead presidents to represent me.
There's this lineup here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? God damn it. Talking about, I tell you half the story, then you fill the rest in. Oh, I'll tell you half the story, the rest you fill it in. And I'm getting that sensation from these lyrics. I'm not being told everything. It seems like it's a bunch of hints and breadcrumbs and subtleties. And even though I'm enjoying the vocal rhythm and the lyrics, I'm definitely getting that impression of I'm not getting the full story, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm kind of glad he put that in there just because, this is how I feel. And it makes me want to, I feel like there's a lot more going on inside the lyrics than I realize. It makes me want to really sit down and look at them, but I don't want to do that on an initial reaction because it takes me a long time and my brain is not working that well right now. The beat, is this a straight sample from the World Is Yours? Okay. I'm trying to pick up on the beat and I can almost hear it. It's there, but it is a that little light sound. So this little sound, that's the beat I'm thinking of. I need to go back and listen to The World Is Yours. No, I like that track. I enjoyed that one. Dead Presidents 2, I enjoyed that. Although I can tell, I apologize if this seemed like a I'm not really on my A game today. I can tell. I'm trying to do my thing, but I can tell this cold is weighing me down a little bit. So I apologize if you think this one's a little boring. You're probably right. All right, track 5 is Feeling It.
Feel the high that you get from the line. If you feel
I
it,
keep
raise your
it
hand in
realer
the
than most. I know
sky.
you're feeling it.
Here we
Crystals are nice,
go.
I like the toes. I keep on spilling it.
This makes me think of Jay-Z. That voice, that tone. This really makes me think of Jay-Z.
Transactions illegitimate, cause life is still a bitch. Y'all niggas ain't talking about large money. What's the point?
I really like this part. If everyone in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. I really like that. I like that. Like, no, we're going to hold each other up. Even if somebody else kind of slips a little bit, we're all there for each other. We're all our support structure for each other, which is cool. I like that. And then, there's a reference here because life's a bitch and then you die. I would have missed that a couple weeks ago if I had not listened to Elmatic. This is a cool jam. I'm liking this one. I'm liking the more confident vocals coming from Jay-Z. And I think too, really, what I'm accustomed to hearing, my just kind of image of Jay-Z with his vocals is that a little bit of a higher pitch that he uses. This is a cool jam. I really like the music on this one too. It's got a good beat. And I like the piano going on back there. And there's that lo-fi crackle in the background. This is an interesting verse here where he's talking about his mom having dreams that she's going to get shot, or he's going to get shot. And he seems to be caught up in this cycle of, okay, well, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I might get shot. But he's liking making the money. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, get weeded now. I know I contradicted myself. I don't need that now. Jay's confused from the weed smoke and doesn't need your input on consistency. Okay, so maybe he's just talking in this one. He's just talking about the paranoia he gets from smoking pot, which makes sense. And given what he's dealing with, paranoia probably comes pretty easily. If you're trying to run drugs and make money and all this other shit, that's easy to get paranoid about, especially if like, what was it? Was it Dead Presidents? No. Yes. Where his buddy was in the hospital because he got sprayed up his side.
If you feel it, raise your hell in the sky. Feel the crash to the top of my way.
That was cool. I like that one. All right, this is track 6.
It gets dangerous. Money and power is changing us, and now we're lethal, infected with the evil.
This is a great beat. I really like this beat a lot. I don't know why necessarily. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's just the piano being in there and the beat. Yeah, this is a great beat. I really like it. I like the sampling of Snoop Dogg in that.
Don't cry, it is the beat. In time, I take away your miseries and make it mine. The evil.
This is a really interesting verse. He's referencing somebody. In turn, I'm kidnapping his baby's mother. My hand around her collar, feeding her cheese. The dollars were shitty, so I said her 50s. About his whereabouts, I wasn't convinced. I kept feeding her money until her shit started to make sense. So he's trying to find someone. But it's weird he's giving her money. His friend, he's trying to find his friend turned enemy. So he keeps paying her. Oh, okay. Now I'm trying to rock this bitch to sleep. All the years we were close, now I see his fears through her tears. No, she's wishing we were still close. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll take away your miseries and make it mine, the evils. Interesting. So it's like the pain that she's feeling, the worry that she's feeling, he's going to take it on by killing this other guy, I guess. This is a really interesting track. That verse was really, really interesting. And then pairing that with these samples from Snoop. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me?
And even if Jehovah Witness, bet he'll never testify. The evil.
Huh. You know, in terms of lyrics, in terms of just lyrics, actually, and beat too, I think that's my favorite song so far. I think this one's really interesting. He's talking about how he's just swallowed up in this thing, the evils. Was thought to be a pleasant guy all my life. Now I'm down for whatever, ain't nothing nice. Throughout my junior high years, it was all friendly, but now this high learning got the Remy in me. This is an interesting song. Telling lies that sound true. Huh. For the love of money, son, I'm giving lead showers. Huh. Yeah, that was cool one. I like that one. The Evils. I like that one. All right. Track 7 is 22 Twos.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Maria Davis, Mad Wednesdays. We here tonight to have a good time. Wait a minute.
That's 22 tunes for y'all motherfuckers out there. You know what I mean?
This is kind of this is a neat track too. You know, that opening line, too much West Coast dick licking. So, you know, I'm aware that the East-West Coast rivalry was going on during this time. And it's interesting to hear that line after hearing some of the interviews that Tupac had about trying to put that all to rest and all that stuff. But this is a cool verse. Honestly, I was listening to the lyrics so much I wasn't really paying attention to the beat. I need to listen to the beat here.
I dip spit quicker than you ever seen. Administer pain. Next, the minister screaming your name. At your wake as I peek in. Look in your casket, feeling sarcastic. Look at him, still sleeping. You're never ready.
Ace, turn that music down. I smell some reefer. Now you see, that's why our people don't have anything. Because we don't know how to go in places and act properly. Wait a minute. Who told me shut the F up? Now, like I was saying, we gotta build our own business.
That's an interesting way to close out the track. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. This second verse here was really good. I'm not going to repeat some of these words because they're bad. Without the 8, right, maybe you could test my weight, right. Administer pain, next to minister, screaming your name at your wake as I peek in, look in your casket, feeling sarcastic, look at him still sleeping. That's a pretty goddamn good line right there. You're never ready, forever petty minds stay petty. Minds thinking longevity until I'm 70. That's good shit. Good shit. Okay, that was fun. Track 8 is Can I Live? This intro is really good. I really like that he has said this. Through our desperation, we become addicted, sort of like the fiends we're accustomed to serving. Because they so often reference drug dealing and the crack fiends and stuff like that. But it's nice that he's recognizing his own addiction, which is money and the hustle, and how they're both being driven by the same desperation. You know, one person's getting high on crack to just basically try and cease to exist because the hopelessness that they feel, which is what he's talking about, is too much. It's too much. So just going to burn out and wither away and die. And then on the other side of that, the hopelessness is driving this need to make money and get out and do the hustle. But then you get addicted to that as well. Good intro. Good intro. I like that quite a bit. Let me back it up just a little bit so we can drop into the first verse.
Well, we offer our lives. What do
And
you
I like
bring
how
to
it's
the
this
table?
mellow beat and then that.
Watching every nigga watching me closely. Forgetting all I ever knew. Convenient amnesia. I suggest you call my lawyer. I know the procedure. Block my body, can't trap my mind easily. Explain why we adapt to crime. This way no fraud willies present gambling they re-up. And we can have a pleasant time sipping margaritas. Yeah.
There's a lot of great lines in here. I'm appreciating Jay-Z more. You know, that first track didn't really do a whole lot for me, and then the first couple seemed a little non-specific. And now he's settling in, or I am settling in more, and I'm able to hear his words. But no more Big Willie. My game has grown. Prefer you call me William. I like that. So it's not so much into the drug game anymore. It's something more. Where was it? I like this too. My shit is butter for the bread. They want to toast me. I like that quite a bit. There was another line. Fuck. I wanted to pause it, but I hate pausing during the verses. I like, if it's a nice long verse, I like to play it through and just listen. It's nice to listen. At the bar, getting my thug on properly. My squad and me lack a respect for authority. Laughing hard, happy to be escaping poverty, however brief. I know this game has valleys and peaks. So it's nice that it's it. Well, it's not nice. It's interesting that in all of this, even in the you know, the boastful attitude of I'm making millions, all this other stuff, there's still very much an awareness that it could end at any time. There was a track, I can't remember, it was Tyler the Creator, and I can't remember which track, and there was one part where he's just kind of talking, and he says his biggest fear is going broke. And it was interesting because it was his third or fourth album or something like that. So at that point, he definitely made it, and the idea of going broke seems a little silly, but it really struck me, and even more so the fact that he has all these albums, and now he has his own clothing line. He has all this stuff, so he's making all this money, which makes me believe that fear of going broke is absolutely real. And then, you know, why is that such a big fear? Because then he knows what it's like to go back to where he came from, and he does not want to do that. It's like going back to hell. You know, you finally claw your way out of hell, and then if you go broke, you got to go back to hell. All right, let's keep going. Cool beat too. I like how it's almost like stalling the beat.
My mind is infested. Can I live? Can I live?
I really wanted to let that chorus play, even though it's a very simple chorus, because I wanted to hear his voice and his tone while he's asking this question, can I live? Can I live? Especially with this final line coming out of the verse. I keep one eye open like CBS, who see me stressed, right? This is an interesting track because, you know, how it opens up with the desperation and becoming addicted to the hustle and trying to get out of these hopeless areas. And even in doing so, even if you get out, you're still stressed out. And he can't, you know, can I live? Can I just live? And I want to click the annotation and see what to say, but in my mind, my interpretation of it is, I feel like he's struggling with this idea of, even though I've made it out and I've got money and I don't have to deal with this anymore, I'm still stressed out. I still can't just live. Why can't I just live? I want to live. And the idea of living, to me, at least the impression I get from this track being, I just want to live a stress-free life where I don't have to worry about all of this nonsense. You know, I want a place to live and, you know, some nice things, and then that's it. A stress-free life. Can I live a stress-free life? All right, let's click the annotation now. Let's see what it says. Yeah. Let it go. Interesting track. Can I live? I like that one. I think Devils or The Evils is so far is my favorite one. I really liked the beat on that one. Track 9 is Ain't No Person. I'm gonna say person. Track 9. Oh, funky already. Nice.
fresher than the next bitch. No need for you to ever sweat the next bitch.
Tell them freaks to find a man that they on. Man that they on.
Yeah, fresh to death.
I mean, clearly this track is a very large departure from the sounds of the other tracks. But man, that bass line is so beefy and funky and fat. I fucking love it, man. Love it. And I like the rhythm that Jay-Z is using here with his vocals. His flow is much faster. So this is a cool track.
Moschino, coach bag looking half black and Filipino. Figure no jazz got you a beat with a feeling boy. Yo, ain't no stopping this, no lie. Promise to stay monogamous. I try, but love, you know these hoes be making me weak. Y'all know how it goes, be so I stay deep.
What up, boo?
You know, anytime I hear about a successful music artist, you know, a sports athlete, somebody who's young and just has millions of dollars. And everywhere they go, there's women all over them. And then I hear about them, you know, getting in a serious relationship or getting married. I just think to myself, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, good luck. Good luck trying to stay monogamous. Good luck. You know these hoes be making me weak. Of course. I mean, they're everywhere. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so, I mean, I don't mean to try and judge anybody who wants to get married when they're in that situation, but goddamn, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you actually pull that off, get married and then go on tour or, you know, go play your games all over the country and stuff. It's just, while the women are just throwing themselves at you. I don't know. This is a cool track. I really like the bass line. I know I've said that like 4 times, but I'll say it once more.
Keep me laced in the illest snakes, bank rolls of shit, back rubs in the French tub.
No one can fuck you better. Keep you in diamonds and leather.
Friends are telling me I should leave you alone.
So there's clearly a duality that exists within this relationship where it's well known he's going to sleep around, but it's okay because he just gives me a lot of money. I don't know if that's the basis for a healthy relationship, but, you know, to each their own. And if it works, great. Awesome. Moving on. Track 10 is Friend or Foe.
Check 2, shit, you know what to do. And you getting money round here, it's not in the plans. Don't hop your ass out of that van, head back to Kansas. I'm sending niggas back up in campuses.
The tone, I'm really, with the vocal style that he's using and the music, I'm really just getting this, I want to say The Sopranos. I don't know how many of you have watched The Sopranos show, but I'm just getting this vibe of, yeah, mafia, money, deals, all this stuff. I'm just getting this vibe from this track.
Chances slimmer than that chicken Calvin Klein pants. Let me guess. They said it was money round here, and the rest is me stopping you from getting it, correct? Sorry to hear that. I need those keys, and I promise you never, no matter the weather, ever come around here no more.
So the end has to be a reference to Friday, right? Don't you ever come here again. I'm going to call you. But if you come around here, I ain't going to call you. That was a cool little track. I like it. I wonder how much it's drawn from real life experiences from when he was doing his, you know, cocaine stuff, selling cocaine. It makes me curious, you know. That was a cool track. All right. Track 11 is called Coming of Age.
Yeah. Come experience. This
is a cool jam. Basically just him talking about this other guy looking at him and being envious, but the vocal style that he's using here, the rhythm is really good. I like it a lot, especially this one part, you know, I'm the hottest person in New York and sees hunger pains. Just the way he's flowing the words together, it's really good. Really good. All right, let's keep going. I love how it drops right into the chorus, too. And this little layer of sound that they add for the chorus, that little light tone.
Hey fella, I've been watching you clocking. Who me holding down this block? It ain't.
And I like how the piano is like this really, really deep tone. almost like a bass from the piano. I like that they're doing that. I haven't really heard a song where they are more or less using the piano like the bass. So it's pretty cool. And then a little change up there just to rotate out and cycle into the next beat. I was gonna say the third verse here is pretty neat, where he's more or less bringing on his protege, coming of age, and Jay-Z's kind of telling him, giving him little pointers, this and that. But I was gonna say in the second verse, or maybe it was the first verse, I can't remember, but when I was doing Illmatic and I was going through trying to edit the video for Illmatic, when I was listening to the beats, I felt like, oh, the beats are pretty simple, pretty straightforward in their structure. You can really hear the rhythm and it cycle through, and you can hear it on this one too. But on this one, I was noticing more that what I was struggling to notice with Illmatic and eventually came to understand, but I didn't get it at first. On this one, I'm hearing it now, is the vocals and the lyrical style, the flow that Jay-Z is using. It is a lot more complicated than it seems, because his verses and his structure on top of the beat are really, really complex. And it reminded me of Nas and Illmatic. So I just wanted to mention that because that's what I was thinking of when I was hearing that. So that was a cool jam too, Coming of Age. I like that one. God, there's a bunch of tracks, 15 tracks. All right, well, what's the next one here? Track 12 is Cashmere Thoughts.
Spitting flow like fine wine down your earlobe. I'm smooth but deadly like a per-handle pistol. Honey's humming melody when I rub it like crystal.
I'm liking the lyrics in terms of just what he's doing. The vocals, again, are really good. I mean, Jay-Z's great at rapping. I think so. The beat isn't really doing much for me. The beat is kind of clunky. It's a little too busy, I think. It isn't that it's bad, but I'm not really jiving to this beat too much.
Proper etiquette when I drop the subject verb then the predicate with this rich nigga
it's okay.
I'm solid gold. I rap like a mink stove.
Yeah, there's something going on here with just the way the rhythm that Jay-Z's using to the beat. It feels a little forced. It feels like he's doing his thing, and it's a little too bad just because the lyrics are good. Again, he's got great lines like he always has. It just doesn't really seem to mesh with the beat that well. Like the previous track, Coming of Age, I thought it worked really well. This one, I don't know. I'm not really into this one too much.
The Jedi from Rio de Janeiro on the red eye. Yet I still feel the need to be fly. I gotta keep your tricks intact, cause I walk like a pimp, talk like a madman. The slam player, the golden ball layer.
I don't know. That one was interesting. I don't want to say it's like a throwaway track, but I feel like he had all these great lyrics, and he's like, okay, I need something to put it on top of, and they've got the beat, but yeah, that one just didn't quite jam for me. Cashmere Thoughts. And I wonder if I'm just missing something. I wonder if I'm overthinking it. I tend to do that. I have a very good skill of overthinking things. Good lines. Again, Jay-Z's got great lines. All right, let's move on. Track 13 is Bring It On.
Hey, Purse, rack him up, man.
What you been, big?
Hey,
Yo, you got the money, man. You ass back
shit is right now, sis.
Hey yo, we patting down pussy from Sugar Hill to the Shark Bar. Fuck a bitch D in the Mark car. We got the bad bitches gasping for air and aspens. Said we was garbage, so fuck college. Street knowledge, amazing scholars. Moving corn phrases for dollars. Star-studded bitches with crystals. Get fucked with pistols.
Said we was garbage, so fuck college. Street knowledge, amazing to scholars, and we coin phrases for dollars. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. I like the beat. Let's keep going. I like the beat though.
Do the knowledge, do the few dollars, I'm due to demolish. Cruise Brooklyn through Hollis to a hood near you. What the fuck?
Huh.
Money is.
So this is another one where It's what track was it? I don't remember. Track 4, maybe track 3, where he was talking about, I'm telling half the story, the rest you can fill it in. I feel like that's what's going on here. Well, nah, that's not necessarily true. There's so many references that I don't know. So it's difficult to really understand what he's talking about because I don't know who Bobby Johnson is. I don't know who Benny Blanco is or Blanco. Hakeem is a basketball player. But there's a lot of references here that I just don't know. Good lines again, but not, like I was saying earlier, there's not necessarily a specific story being told. And not that that's bad. I like stories. You guys know that. But I'm kind of trying to take this and pair it to Tupac. Because Tupac, Me Against the World, that album, man, you can tell he is just stressed out about getting killed. Death's around the corner. Losing all these buddies. And it's an interesting contrast because Jay-Z doesn't really seem to be too concerned about that. His experience is different than Tupac's. And I makes me wonder why. I wonder if Tupac was just so in your face about everything, like here I am, thug life and all that, like I'm me and I'm right here and I'm not going anywhere and blah, blah, blah. Whereas it seems like the impression I'm getting from Jay-Z on this album as far as he's a little bit more tactical, a little bit more thoughtful in how he would plan things out. Like I forget what track it is now, but he's talking about longevity and looking to 70, not a short-term player at all, not thinking about tomorrow, thinking about next year, the next 10 years, all this kind of stuff. And so I wonder if that mindset that Jay-Z has allows him to be a little bit more comfortable with this world and what he's doing, and he feels like he can manage it more, whereas Tupac never gave me that impression. I wonder if Tupac was so much of a soldier in the sense of being on the ground and just, here I am, and we're going to if I got to fight somebody, I'll fight him. If I got to shoot somebody, I'll shoot him. People are shooting me. I wonder if he was just so intense in that lifestyle, he couldn't really see beyond it. Whereas Jay-Z does not seem to be in that mindset. He's a little bit more of a, like a general in the sense, to kind of keep the military analogy. So if Tupac's a soldier and he's boots on the ground, Jay-Z is more of the guy who's planning out the strategy of where everybody's going to go and what we're going to do and what that's going to accomplish. I kind of forgot why I started talking about this. Anyway, okay, let's keep going.
I'm energetic with facial credit, pure platinum fetish, with cheddar spread lettuce, hero your deadish. I make moves that remove pebbles out of shoes. You suck pistol like pipe with the crystal.
So this is another example of what I was talking about before. Was it Cashmere? Or maybe it was Coming of Age. It was Coming of Age, where you can listen. I can listen to the beat and go, okay, this is a pretty straightforward beat where you can hear the rhythm and it repeating. But the lyrics on top of it are very complex. And so it's cool for me to be able to hear that and understand that what's going on with the rhymes on top of the beat are more complex than I realize. And I'm starting to get that. My ear is starting to adjust to that. It's still difficult, but I know for a fact if I go through when I edit and if I have to try and slice out some of these vocals, it will be hard to do it well because his vocals are very busy, whereas the beat itself is just repeating. Anyway, let's keep going. We're almost done with this one here. Listening to this chorus at the end too, it makes me think I missed the point of this track too. Earlier I was kind of criticizing it for not being very descriptive, not really having a story necessarily, but the chorus, bring it on if you think you can hang. If not, let me do my thing. And so that kind of clears it up a little bit, kills my overthinking process of he's just talking about, hey, this is what I do. If you want to contend me for it, then okay. But if not, these are all the things I'm going to go do. So really, that's really what this song's about, at least as far as I can tell. All right, track 14 is called Regrets, which is an interesting title.
Stress.
Get that lo-fi crackle again. I love that.
Beads of sweat, second thoughts on my mind. How can I ease the stress and learn to live with these regrets? It's time. Giving a shit. Fuck.
This is interesting. Yeah, this is more of what I want from Jay-Z. I want a little bit more, something that's a little bit more personal, something that's a little bit more about him. This is what I love about artists, is when they tell you who they are and what they've gone through. And especially this last part that's in parentheses here, this time, stress, giving this shit up, fuck. You know, he feels like the deal is going to go bad. He's worried about his people getting killed, nervous, confined to a corner, beads of sweat, second thoughts on my mind. How can I ease the stress, living with these regrets? And the reason why I like this is because, to me, this is the kind of thing that kills the misconception about rap. In that you'll hear people who are trying to dog rap and say it's bad because, it just promotes all these terrible things. No. Here you see the human element of somebody who's a drug dealer and doesn't want to be a drug dealer and is going, I got to get out of this. I got to get out of this. Like, I have regrets. This is bad. I'm worried about my buddies that might get killed. This deal's about to go south. So on. This is important to me. This is very important. I think this should happen more often. It's one of the reasons why Tupac won me over in spades, is because that guy just came out with his heart on his sleeve in that album, Me Against the World. So this stuff, to me, is much more compelling than some of the lyrics that have existed in the other tracks. All right, let's keep going.
This is the number one rule for your set. In order to survive, gotta learn to live with regrets. If through our travels we get separated, never forget, in order to survive, gotta learn to live with regrets.
That's an interesting chorus too, man. That very interesting chorus. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, I know what I just said compared to that chorus. I mean, this is good. To me, this is good stuff. These are the kinds of stories that need to be told, in my opinion.
Travels we get separated, never forget, in order to survive, gotta learn to live with regret. Time waits for no man, can't turn back the hands once it's too late. Gotta learn to live with regret. You used to hold me, told me.
Yeah, this is good shit. This is a really good song. Really good song. Talking about how his mom's freaking out. I mean, so this track in itself, but I'm wrapping it up with some of the things I've heard from Illmatic, what I've heard from Good Kid, Mad City, Me Against the World. Like, these are the kinds of stories that I like to hear, because this is what makes it real for me. When on these other tracks, when they're saying this and that, you know, they're going all over the world and stuff like that, it's like, okay, but it starts to feel like a movie. I start shifting into this mindset of just being told a flashy story, and I don't know how real it is. This, you know, when he's talking about, got my hand has this pistol shaking because I sense danger. I don't want to shoot him, but I'm trapped within this infrared dot, about to hot him and hit rock bottom. He doesn't want to fucking kill this guy. He doesn't want to. No answers to these trick questions. No time. Shit's stressing. And it's not, you know, he's got his gun pulled on them. Doesn't want to shoot him. And it's not this line, no answers to these strict questions. I like that line because that situation is so shitty. Nobody wants to do that. Well, I should say nobody, but this idea of having to kill somebody is not a great idea. But when you're in that scenario, there's not a whole lot of options. You either do something or you don't. And from what I've heard on other tracks, you know, you got to be the first one to shoot. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to be standing at the end of it. This is a good track. I like this one. Let me back it up a little bit so we can drop into the chorus here.
To live for the right now. Time waits for no man. Can't turn back the hands once it's too late. Gotta learn to live with regret.
And the beat and everything, but the keyboard's got a bit of a retro sound to it, which is cool because he's talking here about how he used to hold me, told me I was the best. So I assume this is his mom telling him when he was younger. I'm assuming. I'm not going to click the annotation. I'm just going to go with this point of view. So that idea paired with this retro sound is giving me a reflective vibe from the track. And it's good. This is a good song, man. I like this one.
If through our travels we get separated, never forget in order to survive, gotta learn to live with regrets.
So normally on a chorus like that where it's repeating and it's repeating and it's repeating, I'd get a little bored. But with this track and the theme of this track, I really like it. It reminds me of, what do you call it? The Catholics when they go to confession and they confess their sins, and then the father says, okay, do 20 Hail Marys or whatever. And it's like a prayer. It's the repeating nature of that chorus at the end of this song with everything that's been said in this song. It's like a prayer. And it's not necessarily about forgiveness. Not necessarily about forgiveness to me. It's more of a, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Like, yes, horrible things have happened and you can dwell on it, but nothing positive will come from dwelling on it. So you have to learn to live with the regrets. You have to learn to live with regrets. And so it's like this mantra Jay-Z is saying over and over again. Because there's a difference between living with a regret and ignoring that it happened in the first place. And at no point is he trying to ignore what's happened. He's acknowledging what's happening or what has happened. He's acknowledging it, respecting it, and moving forward. And just not letting himself being eaten alive by the guilt that comes with it. Because guilt will eat you alive. And in exchange, give you nothing in return. Like, you can drown in guilt all you want and you'll get nothing out of it. Nothing out of it. So I like this end. It reminds me of a type of prayer, a mental process to just find a way to keep going and not drown in regret. Good track. I like that one quite a bit. All right, last one is called Can I Live 2?
Yeah. Y'all niggas finished, yo. Y'all niggas finished. Feeling it. Chickens are ice grilling it. Cops pulling it over. Jiggery act militant.
What is this line? Don't even hate on those who hate me. I got Pac on. Before his demise, Tupac had thrown a few disses at Jay, as well as at a few hundred other East Coast rappers. Wow. Huh. Okay. Let's keep going.
Beat off. Officer told me turn the beat off. I turned to the level higher. Then return the devil's fire. The percentage you don't understand is higher than the percentage you do. Check yourself. What percentage you shoot?
This line, the percentage you don't understand is higher than the percentage you do. Check yourself. What percentage is you? This is a great question because it's something I can ask myself. This is exactly what I'm trying to go through with my own journey into hip hop. And so, Jay-Z, if there's any consolation to you, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying.
Ran in a shorty bopping down the ab on his way to clocking math. Then he proceeded to show me a block of slab. Hey, yo, it's money out there. I just got the hat.
This is a good verse right here. They can't lock me down. Well, let's see. Yeah, I sold drugs for a living. That's a given. Why is that? Why don't you try visiting the neighborhoods I live in? My mind's been through hell. My neighborhood is crime central where the cops lock you up more than they try to defend you. That's good lines. Good lines. All right, I'll back it up here and we'll drop into verse 3.
Rockefeller forever, y'all. Major Corn.
Huh. Okay. Well, Reasonable Doubt. That's a pretty good album. I need to look and see if it was true that nobody wanted this album, because that's surprising to me. I think this is a pretty good album, honestly. Initially that first track really didn't come out swinging for me, which is a little surprising. I'll have to listen to it again. And, just keep in mind that this is my first listen. And so I'll spend the next couple days listening to this album. And then it'll be interesting to see how I feel now compared to when I do additional thoughts in a couple days. Because the first one, it just didn't really do much for me. But I think coming off of Me Against the World and Tupac, I think really it's just a different style of writing that he's using. It's a different style of what he's saying versus not saying, where Tupac just came out and said all of it. He said all of it. Jay-Z's a little bit more reserved, keeps his cards closer to the chest. And that's not bad. I like people that are open and honest and raw. That's my personal preference. So it just, I guess I wanted to hear more from Jay-Z, but he gets into that later on. So Feeling It, or Dead Presidents 2, The Evils, 22 Twos, Can I Live? Even Coming of Age was kind of a cool one. Regrets I really liked. So he gets there. He doesn't just keep it to the chest the whole time. He shows his hand a little bit here and there. But it's interesting to listen to Jay-Z and place him in the arena of other people I've listened to and their points of view. Like with Illmatic, there's a very specific point of view. With Tupac, there's a very specific point of view. With Good Kid, Mad City, there's a point of view. This is a different point of view on Reasonable Doubt. Jay-Z doesn't really... He's comfortable with what he's doing. He's not necessarily proud of it. He's a little flashy. He's showing off that he's making it, and he's okay with that. He's not really ashamed. And these aren't what I'm saying. These things aren't good or bad. These are just my thoughts as they're kind of rumbling out here. And so it's interesting. I guess it's interesting to have. Here we go. Good Kid, Mad City, and what Kendrick's saying there. Illmatic, what Nas is saying. Me Against the World, what Tupac is saying. For Jay-Z to come in and have this other point of view where he's almost fine with it, And it's not like he likes that this is the case, but he doesn't really have a problem with what he's doing to make money and make it and get out of the shitty environment. So it's kind of surprising. It's just another person. It's another point of view, a perspective that I haven't heard. And it folds into all the other ones that I've listened to. And it's just different. And I think really it caught me off guard. Now, in terms of his lyrical style, I really do enjoy his lyrical style. I guess in a way, I want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm not disappointed. It's just, I feel like he, by keeping what he's saying a little closer to the chest than some of these other artists have done, I feel like we're missing out a little bit. I feel like the times that he has opened up on this album and really told us a story, they've been really good stories. And so I wish the whole album could have been that way, but there you go. He's got a lot more music. I think the Blueprint, a lot of people said the Blueprint is really good. So maybe the Blueprint, he does that. Maybe in the Blueprint, he opens up a little bit more. I remember listening to College Dropout and being surprised at how reserved that was. When I thought of Kanye, I thought of big and bold and out there and just open. And it wasn't really like that. It was a safer album. I wonder if that's what's happening here. I wonder with Reasonable Doubt, with this being his first album, I wonder if it was just a little bit safer. And so maybe things like the Blueprint, he really opens up and lets us know who he is. Maybe. You guys will let me know. Leave me comments if that's the case, because I hope that's the case. Because he's got a great style. He's got a great sound. These are good beats. There was only one track, Cashmere Thoughts, where the beat didn't quite jive with me. And even the beat there was fine. It just didn't really mesh with the lyrics, in my opinion. I apologize, you guys, so much for my sniffling and coughing and stuff. It's just fighting through this cold. I did as well as I could. Enjoyable album. Yeah, enjoyable album. I want to listen to it again. I really do want to listen to it again. It's got 15 tracks. There's a lot of music here. There's a lot to get through. So I feel like with this one, especially kind of being a little tired, I feel like there's some stuff I just missed. Some simple, obvious things I just missed. Anyway, well, there you go. Reasonable Doubt. Good album. I'm definitely going to listen to this one a lot. And then I'm excited to see what my additional thoughts are after hearing this another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Good album. All right. We'll see ya.